All right, good morning again to you guys joining us at 9 o'clock and also to the guys that's going to be listening to this recording at 5 o'clock and later. It's always something for me to look forward to chat a little bit to you guys, to share some ideas and see where you're at with, in your area, with your space. So Monkey Gymnastics head office will be closing today and only reopening again on the 4th of January, 2021. So after the president's speech last night, I'm not sure what we can expect from the 4th of January 2021. And you know, I don't want to have any expectations because then we might be disappointed. So the only thing that's in my mind at the moment, and that I also want to share with you guys and encourage you guys, is now maybe the next 2 weeks, what we've got left of December, is now time for some personal time, some time to reset a little bit. And Runel used the perfect words. She called it personal recovery. You know, we've been through so much and we have shared so much and we have talked about so much. But I feel in my heart, it's now time to just let everything go. I don't think there's anything specific that requires our attention right now, apart from looking after ourselves, looking after our families, staying safe, and just taking this time, I almost want to use the word to reset a little bit. Because when we do reopen on the 4th of January, we're going to need all the mental, spiritual, and physical energy that we can gather right now. So I don't know how you guys are feeling, but talking to many, many franchisees, people are really now at a point where their cups are empty. What fills up our cups are different things. You know, for me, after this meeting, I'm going to go to my place in Paris for 3 nights because it's booked out again over the weekend. I'm very honored, privileged to have that on Airbnb. But just to break out of my home, I've been in my home for the last 7 months. A little bit afraid even to go to the local spa, not even talking about going to Durban or going to Cape Town or anything. So it's important for me right now, today, to just get a bit of a change of environment, to reset a little bit, and to get a different perspective of what's lying ahead for us when we start again on the 4th of January. So just a few things, and then I want to go to you guys as well. Are you, in your heart right now, are you ready for the new reset? I don't want to call it the new normal because it's definitely not going to be normal, but it's definitely going to be new. Are you ready for that yet? Or do you first need some time out to find yourself in the middle of all this? I don't want to call it chaos, let's call it uncertainty, to know where you are at exactly specifically right now. And Rousseau, also I want to go to Rousseau as well, talk a little bit about family this morning in our executive meeting, how important it is now, December 2021, out of all Decembers that we had before and all Decembers that's going to follow, December 2020, where we are right now, is going to be a very, very important time for us to find our feet, find our support structure, and find our, I almost want to call it soul again. I like the word recovery, personal recovery, because in English it's a little bit more descriptive than in Afrikaans. Recovery is that you have to go and find something that's already there. You have to go and recover it. You don't have to start a whole new thing and a new spiritual perspective. You just have to go back and find that essence. I'm talking about myself now as well. Not what I've lost at the end of March when we went into lockdown, but things that's been overshadowed a little bit with other emotions and other stresses and other fears that we've been living on. So I really want to invite and encourage you guys to take this time to go and find that essence again that we're going to need. That's going to be basically the heart of what we're going to require as we go into 2021, starting on the 4th of January. All right, so I definitely believe that we are on the right track. You know, they say reality never lies. You have to look at what reality is dictating to you. We're very pleased to end off this year with 7,000 kids in South Africa, plus about 700 kids in Cyprus, plus bits and bobs all over the place. Malaysia, Mauritius is still going. So very, very pleased about what we have achieved together during this time. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for, first of all, attending these meetings and for the effort and everything that you guys have put in to get us to this point today. Discovery South Africa has contacted us already just after lockdown for a proposal to do monkey gymnastics at their school at Discovery head office in Sandton. So I think, you know, that makes me feel really good that a company like Discovery is contacting us. Then yesterday I had a meeting with Lynette in Pretoria. BMW South Africa contacted her to put together a proposal for their nursery school at their plant and in Roswell, is it Roswell in Pretoria? So that's high profile interest in our business. And that just proves to me that we are visible. They see that we are still operating. They obviously see what's going on social media with what we're doing and sharing the spirit of the franchisees. So the spirit of monkey gymnastics in general is alive and well. Very, very happy about that. Okay, guys, just a couple of things. You know, when Skiki wakes me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I can't go back to bed because that is when all these ideas come in. So I've been thinking about if I was in a franchisee's position starting on the 4th of January, what will I do? You know, I'm probably not going to wear my poly shorts again if I go into classes, but what will I do? And I'm thinking about, apart from the normal standard model that we have to present weekly classes at venues, there are some schools that still trying to find their feet as well. So I would probably go in, and if a school doesn't want to take you weekly as an extramural activity, offer your service to them once a month. You know, instead of charging X amount for 4 classes a week, 4 classes a month, offer them that you come on Monday morning at 9 o'clock, the first Monday of every month, and you charge 50 Rand, and it's like random, all the kids can participate. And then if you have 4 schools that operate like that, you can have one in the first week, Monday morning, one in the second week, one in the third week, and one in the 4th week. So instead of changing schools or instead of going to the same school in that same time slot, trying to get a new school in that time slot that you can just go there once a month. Again, it will be a little bit more affordable for the people attending, and it will get your foot in the door as we slowly start picking up. And then in addition to that, you know, maybe offer it to them once a month. You go in, you do a massive demo, you put on your things and whatever, and every child just pays 20 Rand just to get your foot in the door and just to fill up these time slots, these vacant time slots that we're going to have throughout the week. Something else that's really top of my mind is full classes. You know, if you go to a school and you have 6 or 7 or 8 kids, you must work out a strategy and a plan and formulate how can you achieve a goal in that specific school to fill up that specific class. You know, we've never really thought about that. We've just done a demo and then we've left it over to for kids to join and kids not to join. But if you have 7 places available, you mark it and you speak to the teachers and you speak to the kids to see how you're going to do, what you're going to do to get those 7 kids to operate at maximum classes when you go to schools. All right, so that's just some ideas. Talking about filling up your cup. You know, I think it's probably very honorable to acknowledge that, that your cup is not full anymore, and different things that you can do to fill up your cup. And I'm listening to Sanette in Strand this morning talking about her kids and her grandkids, and everybody's there with her. And I think that's probably enough to fill up your cup, and thinking about spending the next 2 weeks on Christmas with your family. That is so super important. So I just want to go to Jacqueline first, talking about this morning about the radio show that she was listening to about specifically this topic. So Jacqueline, I'd love you if you want to share some ideas with us around that.
It's just a plain simple metaphor of seeing like your mental well-being as a bank transaction. So like you've got your bank transaction and you're withdrawing and withdrawing and withdrawing, and you at schools and you're serving people and you're doing so many things that are depleting your bank balance and your bank figures. So see that as a withdrawal. I mean, you guys have been doing a hell of that the last few months. So you're withdrawing, and then you get to a balance, and our bank account sits on a balance. And the only way you're going to get deposits back is to physically do something proactively you love. So I find in my life, like when I'm in a place where I'm like, oh, I'm down, I'm feeling I need a break. Shane takes the kids out and then off they go for 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, like what I do with that 2 hours is really important. Sitting on the couch, scrolling through my phone, having a glass of wine might not be a deposit. It might just keep me at a balance. And then he comes home 2 hours later and I'm still sitting at this balance and I'm still not feeling great because I wasn't really proactive with my 2 hours. It wasn't really considered a deposit. I'm still sitting at my dear old zero balance. So be really intentional about finding out what you love. I hope that most of you know what your deposits are and what fills your cup up again. Some of us have to really do some self-reflection and go, hey, what is it that I love? Personally, like I love window shopping. I just love shopping and browsing. Like I love fashion and I love dresses and I love looking at things. I might not have money to buy it, but I just love browsing through the shops and looking at random people and looking in the windows. So something like that, then I'll buy frozen yogurt and I'll walk around the shops. So something like that is a deposit for me. I also do love the beach and I've got other things I love, but I was just sharing that random one. But be really intentional about finding out what your deposit is, and don't waste time that you have available just sitting on the couch and scrolling through Facebook. That's clearly going to be more of a withdrawal probably. So yeah, go out there and make sure you find out during the season what you're going to do to fill your cup so that you can get that bank account up to 100 Rand again.
Awesome. Hopefully $100, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I just said 100 Rand. It's an easy flat figure.
Thank you so much. You know, thinking about the last 7, 8, 9 months, how long has it been since March, and what we have done? We have done probably double than what we would normally do. We have done more than what is expected of us on all different levels. So let's think over the short term. That is the way we were programmed. We have to do this, we have to do that tomorrow, and we have to do that. Let's now take our mind just a little bit, not over the short term, but let's call it over the medium term. The most important thing that we can do right now, thinking over the medium term, is take care of ourselves, our mental well-being, and our spiritual health. We can worry about that email that we have to answer again on the 4th of January. Or we can go back to booking demos again on the 4th of January. Let's just take this time to disconnect a little bit. And I say that because over the last couple of weeks, I've had my ups and downs, but the times that I take over the weekend to take my watch off, to put my phone off, to disconnect completely from social media and not even wanting to know what time it is, or looking at the iPhone weather report to see if it's going to rain or not. Just to distance myself from that, even after a day or two, I felt a little bit more clear and a little bit less contaminated almost, I want to use the word. And watching the news and the COVID stats, just to distance myself from that. And that gives your mind a little bit of space for the spiritual energy to flow in again. All right, so Rousseau also had a nice story to tell this morning about family time. And I love the synchronicity always in our executive meetings. Rossi?
I was in church over the weekend.
It's too soft, Rossi, can't hear you.
And
Can't hear you.
How's that?
No.
How's that?
Yeah, that's
better.
Yeah.
I say it's a terug. Sorry, I switched from my car set here in Dinukeng between the Nyalas. So at church on Sunday morning, they had statistics about time being spent with family and so on. And the actual stats is that the average household does not spend more than 11 minutes a day in each other's company, properly in each other's company. Sitting and talking solidly for 11 minutes. Yes, we watch TV together. Yes, we do stuff and we're busy, but not actively engaged more than 11 minutes a day. And that is actually very shocking. And if you come to think about it, some of us might be also very guilty and part of that statistics. I think there's some days that I definitely become part of that. So it sounds ridiculous, but it's actually it's actually very true. So finding hobbies and habits and games, and we discussed Uno this morning, and I realized I've been playing a lot of 30 seconds with Zia, but she can't read yet, so she thinks out her own questions. What's the hottest place on earth? And then it's actually the sun, or stuff like that. So it's just finding that one thing that keeps you engaged for more than 11 minutes is a very important thing. Get hobbies to do something with someone else, and just make sure you're not part of that 11 minutes, because it's a shame. It's very sad. But I would just like to take this opportunity quickly and just because, yes, guys, we've been emotional during this last year, but I remember, and I've mentioned it many times, when we started this year, I remember saying at the conference, 2020 has a nice ring to it. I don't know whether you guys remember me saying it has a nice ring to it. And we had this massive party around it. We spoke about abundance. Was one of the topics that was at our conference. We had the theme of time, what Dirk started out with, and I just really want to, if I reflect on this year, because that's what I'm gonna do for the next couple of days and weeks before we start again, is I'm really gonna reflect a lot on this year. Reflection brings a lot of new energy to me. That's one of the things that helps me a lot and recharges me and brings my balance up to where it should be. Because if we reflect on this year, we can honestly, we might not be financially in the position where we want to be, but I know that each and every single one of us was really pushed to the limit on so many levels. And if we look back at this year, and we must go and reflect and write down what we've done, it will be not only a great story, but it will look amazing. I know that. Each and every single, this type of stuff, that just some of the things that we've tried, never mind the stuff that we actually succeeded in, but just some of the things that we've tried and the abundance around it. And I want to end off this year with the same message that I brought in the beginning of the year. And that is that we should stop thinking poor. We should not be thinking ourselves into this, what we call default of failure over the last couple of months. It has become a default for some of us. We're just thinking failure, 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 no opportunity, no opportunity. It's not possible, impossible, impossible. It's such a shit place to be. Don't be there. We must get over it, and we must start thinking abundance again. We must start thinking opportunities again, because it's there. And together, I mean, listen to Dirk ending off a year like this with Discovery and BMW in our conversation. And that's the type of stuff we're thinking. We've started to get you guys, to get us all of those references in, and we're going to use that type of stuff to get more of that level of interest in our business. And I just want to really tell you guys that I mean, we can go on and we'll all be ending up crying if you really give me the opportunity, because if you look back at this year, we did amazing stuff. And we are so well positioned to go out there next year and really kick off with one massive traction and just get going, hit the ground running. So I'm glad that Dirk went from guys, we're not taking a break at all this year. I think that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, to please take a break and just reflect a bit and recharge yourself a bit. But I'm looking at these faces being here, everybody, and Sanette and Anka, Karamia, James and Carol. It's so nice seeing you guys on the couch every time. Diane, I've seen you guys recently at that office. It was nice. And I mean, all of you guys just went through all of this with us. And I just want to tell you, you don't need to worry. You are prepared. You are prepared for this opportunity that's coming, and it's going to be massive. And we must stop thinking poor. We must claim what is rightfully ours, and that is a plan of prosper. And that is what you must claim when you get back into the seat and the saddle, and just go for it. But yeah, take time, reflect, spend it with loved ones, and just enjoy it. But I love spending time with you guys also, so that's also recharging. Thanks.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank you.
All right, guys, just in addition to what Rousseau said, and also Jacqueline, as important as what it was to do what we did, it is also as important to take this time now, because, you know, there's got to be the yin and the yang. There's got to be the black and the white. And we've been on the one side, our minds have been occupied, we've been putting together different things. So now we also have the balance, because the one complements the other. And if we go, or if I'm talking for myself personally, if I carry on with the same mindset and the same physical energy, what I have now to start off the 4th of January, I'm probably not going to make the end of January. So that's why it's so clear in my mind. And I hope you guys are getting the idea that I've got, that we have to now, we've done enough. Disconnect a little bit, spend time with your family. And we've got enough time in January. The schools are only starting in South Africa on the 27th of January again. I'm not saying sitting idle, not do anything. You know, think about things and make notes and what, but try to disconnect. Try to find the essence again of what is going to be the success of you personally as we go into 2021. All right, I think I want to go. I don't see Carol on the couch. I wanted to ask Carol, so I'll wait for her to come back. So maybe we can go to some of the elders. Ronel Annandale. Tiny Ronel, are you there?
Hi. Ja, ek is hier so, skus.
Hello.
Ja. Hi julle. Ek dink dit was 'n challenging jaar en ek wil met Rousseau saamstem. Ek is so bly jy's uit daai mindset uit dat ons moet net aanhou werk, want dit was 'n flippend harde jaar hierdie. Ons het soveel meer gedoen, soveel ander talente ontdek wat ons nie eintlik gedink het ons het nie of kan doen nie. Maar hoe amazing was dit vir die mense wat ons gesupport het en wat bereid was om ons te doen. En ek dink as daar iets is wat ek in hierdie tyd geleer het, is dit, let's just go back to basics. We don't need that expensive bottle of champagne. We don't need amazing holidays on extravagant beaches. We need to be with our families and just enjoy staying at home, playing 30 seconds, whatever. So vir my wil ek net sê, dit was amazing. En ek wil net sê, dankie Dirk en span vir julle support, want ja, julle het ons, sonder dat julle geweet het, het julle ons partykeer bietjie teen die mure opgedryf en my gedryf na drank, maar gelukkig, ja, ons het almal tyd nodig om net alles te verwerk en alles. So thank you very much for just being there and always being positive. And I want to agree with Rousseau is that we must forget about the poverty mindset and we must think in abundance. Thanks very much, guys. You must have a super, super time with your families.
Thank you, Runel. Making me emotional, but thank you so much. All right, I see Carol is back. Also one of the elders in the Monkeynastics franchise system. And I think one of the biggest inspirations for me this year, Carol, seeing your message on Facebook, speaking to you afterwards, and how far we've come since that message. So, you guys in Cape Town?
Dirk, I think as you can see, it's very emotional for Carol because it's been a very hard year for her, you know what I mean? But otherwise, thank you for the message. I can see it's tough on that side as well. It's been a hard year. And you know what, I'm sorry, I don't remember who gave the last message. You know, it's from my perspective, having stepped into Monkeynastics, I can't even imagine what it's like for the franchisees to go through a difficult period. But then for the franchise in South Africa to suffer like the consequences of having absolutely no income for months. I mean, for me, it's a miracle looking at the screen and going like, hey, we're still here. Everybody's still here. This is where one needs to take strength from, and not from the fact that COVID got hold of everybody and killed everybody's spirit. It didn't. Those who are left, yes, Carol's very emotional. I think a lot of people feel that emotion because, you know, it's been an extremely hard year. But I think from that, we also need to turn it on its head and see the positive in it and say, yo, if you can overcome this, you're going to overcome many, many things in your life, right? You know, when especially for Carol, she had health issues and financial issues. But, you know, if you have the one and not the other, it's difficult. If you have both, it's double as difficult. But anyway, here we are. So, yeah, and she lives in pain all the time. So, you know, the bottom line is we've made it to the end of the year. It's going to be a good year next year. I'm the eternal optimist. If anybody ever wants to talk to somebody to see positive, give me a call. I don't know. I will find positive in anything dark. But I think the important thing is. Oh, sorry. We got so many dogs. Look at all the dogs. This is our family down here, right? Other than the children. So when life comes too hard, you take the dogs, you take them for a walk. You sit around with your kids, to exactly what Rousseau was talking about as well, and you see a little bit of, you just take the pressure off yourself. Okay, but Dirk, thank you very much. As you know, Carol's been through a tough year, and we all have, everybody has. But thank you guys for your support, and we look forward to next year, and hopefully it's going to be a fantastic year for all of us. We'll still face a lot of little problems as we move forward, but we will overcome each one.
Wonderful. Thank you, James. And thank you also for your email. I will respond. I'll give you guys a call sometime. But thank you for your input in that. And please give Carol a huge hug from us there right now. And I didn't mean to upset her, but you know, it's really from the bottom. She's been a great inspiration.
No, it is it.
All right, let's go to some more of the elders. Let's go to Tannie Sanet. That's the elders and the youngers.
Excuse me. Luister van dit is so voorreg om met hierdie mense elke week so te kan connect. Want dan besef jy net elkeen wat iets sê, 'n Ronel, Carol wat jy gepraat het met ma, man. En dan dink jy net jouself, hoe kan jy nie positief wees nie? En vanaand julle, ek wil net vir julle span verskriklik dankie sê. En dis net 'n dankbaarheid wat ek kan kyk na julle en ek wil ook so emosioneel raak en net vir julle 'n groot dankie sê. En ek weet ons gaan die baie deur die drif trek in 2021. sterkte vir julle almal. Anker wil ook iets sê.
Nee, ek wil nie. Baie dankie.
Dis dit. Sterkte vir almal.
Baie dankie. Anke, wil jy ietsie sê?
Ja, so van die van julle wat nie weet, ek het Januarie Stellenbosch begin. En dit het baie goed gegaan en toe gebeur lockdown, maar ja, ek dink elke week se meeting en die cybernastics. My spirit het nooit gedrop nie, want ek het elke week die kinders gesien en hulle was happy en my passie het nooit dood gegaan nie, maar ek dink dankie vir jou Dirk en